name's Mandy and welcome to my YouTube channel Picty Stitch Life is So Creative. Today is Friday the 21st of May 2021 and I'm coming to you from the northwest of England where it has rained all day on and off. We've had heavy showers and then light showers. It's quite chilly and so I've had to resort to putting the heating on and also lighting the log burner downstairs because it is that chilly today. Today I thought I would share a couple of whips with you and my plans, show some acquisitions and also share with you how I cope is the wrong word, should I say, how I organise my threads for my Heaven and Earth designs. So this is a project bag I made. So yeah, it was Nicola from Bumble Stitches. She'd made one. She'd got the idea from Christy of Crosshatch Quilts and I thought it was really pretty, the patchwork at the front. So I already had some Moda fabric. I apologise, I can't remember the colourway, but these were already cut into 2.5 inch squares. So yeah, I've sewn them together and I really like the effect. I've covered the back in a pink fabric. Whoops, some thread still showing. But yeah, I thought that really went well with the colourway, and edged it with some lace and lined it in some inside with some fabric from my stash. There are no seams at all showing, so everything is neatly sewn together, and then I've just sewn a tab on and added some charms there. There was a needle and a little one. Let me see what it says. I can't. Oh yeah, made with love. So there we go, my project bag. Love it. And I've also put some batting in there. Now I watched a video by Laurie Holt where she made a needle book, so I followed her tutorial. I'll put a link in down below, and yeah, I love this little needle book. Needle threader in and two little pockets there for your bits and bobs. So, and again, this was more fabric from the stash, and I put a charm on the front. So this is my next work in progress. This is the Summer Blessings 2 by Lila Studios. The suggested linen was a 40 count, and however I'm stitching this on a 32 count Zweigart Belfast linen. So this will turn out a little bit bigger than an original. I've also bound the back of my hoop with some binding. So I intend to make this into a pillow. And this is a photograph of the pattern. You get two patterns and I'm stitching the summer one. So I got the floss from my stash, but there were three I hadn't got, and that's the raspberry one, so I've swapped it for a 3831. A pink one, the pale pink is the 894, and the brown, it's like a tin what the bird is standing on, I am stitching in a 645. So that's the only differences I have made. The rest of the floss I had in my stash was what the pattern suggested. The only thing is the green was the old DMC colour, but it wasn't that far from the new one. So you can tell the DMC, the old colours, because it's usually got a dot behind the number. But yeah, I'm really enjoying sewing this, stitching this. So like I say, it's just those three flossies I hadn't got, which I've swapped for these from my stash. Next one is the mini sea beacon by Heaven and Earth Designs, and I've managed to do quite a bit of this. Let me just take off the grind guard, and I'm just going to show you here how I've managed the excess fabric. I've used ribbons, and there is a tutorial by Needle Ninja, which is a YouTube channel, so I'll pop a link in down below, and you can see how that is done. So yeah, I'm just going to undo them, and then I can show you all the progress I have made. So here is the mini sea beacon in all her glory. I've managed to complete the face. Now this would have been on the second page, but I've decided I didn't want to leave the face too long, half a face completed, so I completed the other half, and then I'm going to I'm now working on the page 2. Now what I hope to do is carry on down to here, and then I'm going to go on to the next page, which will be the left bottom half, so I can complete the whole length of the actual cross stitch, because then I won't have any part threads to contend with. So yeah, I'm loving how this sky is here, and the sort of sea spray, and then the back of the sea here, how it's, you know, highlighted. It's absolutely beautiful. Just love it, absolutely love it. And how her dress is now picking up as well, these beautiful lines. Yeah, the colours, everything is just absolutely beautiful. Yeah. So this is the mini sea beacon by design. The artwork was by Jasmine Beckett Griffith, and then charted by Heaven and Earth. And like I say, you know, if you're going to do a full coverage like this, this is my first Heaven and Earth, but I've chosen a picture that has my favourite colours in, and like the blue, the emerald greens, the you know, that sort of colour way I really love. Petrol blue is one of my favourite colours as well. So all the colours that I'm using I love. So this is how I store my bobbins. I bobbinate all my thread, and then I actually put on the number and the colour, you know, the code. So then that way they're on cardboard, so that way I can easily identify which one I want. So I put all the arrow type symbols together. These are all the circle type symbols, and then all the square type, so I can just go to the exact section of the box. And I have 3 boxes of threads all bobbinated up. So as you know, I haven't got Pattern Keeper because it's not compatible with my iPad. So what I do is I put my patterns into the Kindle app, and then I do a screenshot, and then save in my photos, and then I go to edit. I'm showing you here on a free pattern from Country Living. So I go on to edit and then mark up, and as you can see, I put on my crayon and then I mark off. I make the squares, sorry, I make the picture bigger, and then I just mark off as a stitch. Quite simple really. And then if I want to park a thread, I change the colour and put it in blue. And I park the thread by putting that in the left hand corner square. And then when I want to stitch, I just get the eraser, mark it off, and then put the yellow back on and start stitching again. Quite simple really. And then to save, I just press done. I have used notes, but sometimes I find it stops saving. So to me, this is the best way of marking off my pattern using my iPad. So yeah. So I think I showed this on my last floss tube. I've now got the fabric to make the spring rolls by Plum Sampler. This is I think it's a 28 count even weave in a grey colourway by DMC, which I purchased from an online shop in the UK called Lakeside, and I pulled all the threads from my stash, which I'll go into more detail when I start stitching this. Yeah, some of the threads I hadn't got, so I looked on a DMC conversion chart on the web, on the internet. I think it's Threadbare, the site. I'll put a link in down below, but they give you alternative. So yeah, that's what I've used. So yeah, I've put the colours onto the fabric just to give you an idea of the colour and what they'll look like. I particularly love this rose, like a rose pink, isn't it? It's absolutely beautiful. I really do enjoy getting the flosses out of my stash and choosing the colours. Yeah. So we'll see how this turns out when I start stitching this. So yeah, I'm looking forward to commencing this. I find the fabric really hard, but I do believe it'll soften up as I start to stitch. So yeah, I'll just place the threads against the fabric to give you an idea. So they've got these lovely greens, and then like I say, these browns, and then the rose red, and that looks more like a pumpkin colour, the orangey yellow thread. So yeah, looking forward to stitching this. So this is Kringles by Little House Needleworks. I showed you this pattern on my last floss tube, but the flossies have actually arrived. I only had a couple actually in my stash, and I didn't want to do, I think it's called a floss toss, so I've purchased the remainder from Lakeside, that online shop, and I've purchased some Krennic for the gold. I think it's Auvera Soie I should have used, but I'll just have to see how I go with the Krennic. But yeah, I think they're absolutely beautiful, these colours, and I just can't wait to start stitching this. I think the colours are glorious, especially, this one out, they really shine. And yeah, the camera's picking them up really well. It's quite true to life, the colours are. And of course I've chosen a 14 count Ada because I wanted the picture to be a little bit bigger than the original size, and this is in the pewter colourway. So yeah, I'll just put the colours on top of the Ada and you can see, sort of get an idea of the colour against the background. Now I'm going to just show you quickly my plans for a Beatrix Potter inspired quilt for my two youngest granddaughters. So I have purchased some, I think this must have been originally a panel, but the person who was selling them on eBay have cut them up into squares. So I purchased these squares. So I will incorporate these into the quilt. I've also purchased some linen. This was from a charity shop. So I intend to do some embroidery on the linen, which of course will be Beatrix Potter inspired. I'm going to use this, it's like a soluble canvas what you can put on top of fabric and then stitch. So I've also purchased some a cross stitch pattern there, and like I say, I've managed to purchase some fabric as well, which is Beatrix Potter inspired. As you can see there, that is squirrel nutkin. And here are some more patterns I've purchased just off eBay really. I've got Mrs. Tiggy Winkle there. So, and we got Jemima Puddle Duck. So I just thought that they would look nice stitched onto the linen. See how we go really with this. And I've thought of on the linen as well, embroidering little trees, brambles, whatever, plant pots, cabbages and gardens and things, all to do with the stories from Beatrix Potter, the Peter Rabbit and Mrs. Tiggy Winkle. I do want to find a pattern now for that little mouse, and I think it's that, is it the Tailor of Gloucester? So yeah. So much for joining me today. You can find me on Instagram as Pickety Stitch. Also I have a Facebook page. And if you haven't already subscribed, could I please ask you to subscribe and tap that grey bell so that you'll be reminded whenever I upload a video. So until next week, thank you so much for watching and goodbye.